following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
Streamer fame may not be all it's cracked up to be. On this episode of the Toonami Faithful Podcast, I am your host, Sketch, and with me I have...
It's me, Happy Girl Kitty.
Ben.
Tutorial Writer, Laserkin.
And...
Yo, it's me, Streamin' Steven, running the stream.
And we have a returning guest.
It's me, your friendly Midwestern freight hauler. It's Cletus T.
Welcome back, Cletus. Thank you for joining us this week.
Happy to be here.
This time we're going to be talking about Rooster Fighter, Blue Lock, and 2 episodes of Dawn to Dawn. I guess we'll get right into it with this week's episode of Rooster Fighter, which is another wonderful episode title, Built Like a Brick Coop. At the previous cliffhanger, Keiji had separated from Elizabeth and Pyoko and had met the friendly demon Morio, and the town is flooding rapidly. A aspiring ViewTuber is trying to get more footage of the chickens, and the dam is about to break. In reaction to the dam situation, Morio grows large and plugs the breach, while Elizabeth and Pyoko rush to the dam. We get some backstory on Ibukura, the guy who dreams of being a ViewTuber. He was a very inept office worker who never showed gratitude when people helped him, and took offense to that. He once also aspired to be a lawyer to help people, but he failed the exam and blamed everyone for his woes, even his own mother.
He could be a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely people like that, and we've met them.
All of us.
All of
yes.
us have met them, yeah.
Oh, I know the type.
So pretty much the whole town's in the shelter, including the little girl and grandpa that were assisted by the chickens. And they just heard that the dam is going to break, and somebody's like, oh yeah, I heard that dam was not built very well. Oh, great. I'm sure we're not making any kind of commentary there. Well, yeah, the dam is going to bust, and Morio has grown large in attempt to keep it from breaking further, but he's having a really hard time. Ibukura spots the 2 chickens that are rushing to the dam, thinking, well, I don't know where the other one is, but at least I'll follow these 2. You know, in the middle of a typhoon with the rain pouring down, he's just on his little bike chasing after these chickens, thinking, I'm going where the action is. So he follows them to the dam, where they find Morio is trying to keep the dam from breaking, and Elizabeth kind of tries to reason. It's like, what are you doing? You can't do anything. And he's like, no, try to get away. It's dangerous. It's like, but you're gonna get hurt. It's like, everybody's concerned about each other. And the guy starts filming, and I gotta give props to the townspeople, because there was like the immediate thought, I was like, oh no, the demon is gonna break the dam. But there's like, wait a minute, he's helping. He's trying to stop the dam from breaking. Thank you for having a brain.
Yeah, I'm glad this was not one of those situations where it was, they were getting the wrong idea. I hate that shit.
I was thinking in that moment that, like, them cheering for him would suddenly make him stronger.
I was waiting for that too.
I don't know how this stuff works, but
in an anime, what are you talking about?
No.
The power of their love and adoration makes him stronger.
Yeah, but ultimately he can't stop it. Unfortunately, he tries his best, but he has this moment where he realizes this is what I was born for. This is why I'm glad I've been alive. Thank you, Keiji. I never would have thought this without meeting you. So where is Keiji? Well, apparently he was waiting at like a bus stop, thinking, oh, I can't possibly find the other chickens before this dam breaks. I guess I'm just gonna go have to stop the whole flood thing.
Well, damn.
Well, damn. That should have been my opening line.
Well, if I've never told you a joke about the damn road before, I'll have to tell you that story someday.
I'm always talking about the damn level in Ninja Turtles on the NES. Yeah. So unfortunately, Mario does not succeed, and he starts drinking down, and the water overpowers him, and he's, he gets. But right before that happens, Ibukura, who's like, I can't believe this guy is trying to save the townspeople. I would never do anything like that. I would never I would never risk my life like that. I'm like, dude, you're not doing it for good reasons, but you are currently risking your life.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hello, self-awareness called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't pick up. He did not pick up. Elizabeth is squawking at him like, get out of here. And suddenly the ground cracks beneath him and he falls. And it looks like he's a goner because Mario has no time to deal with him falling. But here he is, Keiji to the rescue, knocks him up to a place where he can land. And now Keiji's on the scene. But now they still got to deal with this this whole flood thing. And at this point, I'm like, okay, so how is Keiji going to deal with this? Evidently screaming at the water really hard.
Yeah, this is still an anime.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, shonen's got a shonen.
Does this count as shonen? It does.
With very intense language, otherwise, yes.
It could be like One Punch Man, where it's a seinen that's very shonen-y.
That makes more sense to me.
That does make more sense. Fair.
Besides, there is bird sex, so
that's true.
I don't think they're doing bird sex.
They don't have
in
any shonen that I watch.
That's a good point.
Just glossing over the coitus, are we? Okay.
Just glossing over the coitus.
How much do we have to talk about it, Cletus? How much do you need us to talk about it? Let's be clear here.
As per usual, we ain't got no time for birds.
Ain't got no damn time.
It's a little too clucky over there.
Just gotta fly. I see nobody picked up on the growing large and filling holes joke I made earlier.
I definitely did not pick up on
I
that.
didn't either, to be honest.
Maybe it was the way I worded it.
Yeah.
So
I get it now.
Keiji,
I see what you're doing now, yes.
Keiji runs around really, really fast. Apparently he can move very, very fast. He runs around very fast and starts blasting rocks to try and create a new barrier for the water. But the first attempt doesn't work. So he tries again. This time with a much, much bigger piece of rock. And unfortunately, as he is attempting to do that, he gets pelted by a decent sized piece of rock and it looks like he's not going to be able to finish in time as the no, that didn't happen yet. But he is delayed a bit in breaking down, cutting through this rock, this freaking Dragon Ball scenery rock. He's breaking through that in order to plug it. And even Ibukura realizes that's what he's doing. And he's filming most of this. So the townspeople are Being like, "Go Rooster! Go Rooster!" Hey, isn't that Rooster from the videos? Yeah, go Rooster! And little Misuzu, I don't know, maybe it's a little reductive, Misuzu, to think just because this rooster is a rooster that he knows the other two chickens, but I mean, you're correct. So, because all chickens know each other, right? That's how it
Of
works.
course.
Of course.
If they're
That's a
all
little
part of the chicken network.
Little chickenist.
Little chickenist. Little
Yes.
bit. But she's young. She'll learn.
It's true.
It's okay. But she is right. So I don't know what that says. There's just only 3 chickens in this whole town, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. So he does succeed in breaking down that big piece of rock. And unfortunately, I feel like I'm saying unfortunately a lot, but we got to have the tension up, right? It can't all go well immediately. No, they have to have the up and downs. So now the rock is stuck. It's not quite there. And now he's got to scramble to break down this bigger rock in time, but the waves are already coming and you see the waves submerge him. And you're like, oh no, what's going to happen? And as things start bubbling up, I'm thinking, oh, is Morio back? Is Morio going to do it? No, it's just Keiji blowing a big old scream out of the water.
It's a really handy power.
Yeah,
Like a one-size-fits-all ability.
sorta. Though he does seem to have a limit, and he almost reached it this time. But he actually brought out his like super version of his scream. He gave it a slightly more prominent title this time. And that does it. That breaks down the huge rock, and then that can plug up the water flow and save the town. And it's like, yay, the town is saved. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And stupid VTuber aspiring guy is like, you know what, Rooster? You taught me a very important lesson. I'm going to stop being a piece of shit. And then he gives a call to his mom. He's like, nah, Mom, I'm done with the VTuber thing. I'm going to do some traveling and work on myself.
I imagine that she was part of the problem, too. Something tells me.
Well, if she didn't just smack him for his earlier behavior, then
Exactly.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She coddled him too much. He definitely coddled him too much. And little Misuzu says, one day I'm going to become a doctor and help a lot of people. So clearly these chickens are very inspiring to this. At least 2 people in this town.
One demon.
Yeah. And 1 demon. And they have a moment where like, oh man, Mor gave his life to save the town. That's super sad. That drink, that sake was the best. I'm really gonna miss that guy. And we get a little montage of their moments. I was like, okay, this actually is hitting emotionally, despite the fact we just met this demon.
Mm-hmm.
But it all
Yep.
feels really, really fast and abrupt. But it's impressive that it actually, you feel something.
You do. I kind of
It's-
saw it was coming, but it
Yeah.
still hit me.
Yeah. He was happy to be alive for the first time in his life. He was happy to be alive and have a purpose. But the good news is, he survived. He's a sturdy fella.
Yay! That's good.
Yes.
And not only did he survive, he gets to tell everyone, "Hey, I'm alive, guys." Well, I thought they were going to play up the fact that he was alive and then didn't know, but no, they just immediately went there.
No, they immediately spot him and is like, "Hey, next time we'll have some some fresh sea urchin." Emphasis on fresh.
Yeah.
Very, very important detail.
Yes.
We're gonna have some fresh sea urchin. He's like, yes, I would also like to have more of that sake. He's like, that would be great. See you next time, bud. Oh, but there will not be a next.
God, this I didn't see coming.
Yeah, like Way to pull the rug out, man. That's so.
Oh, he's dead. Nope, he's alive. No, actually.
Actually, he seems to be dead. Some lady came along, had a scary finger, and stuck it right through his skull.
She had the whole demon eyes like he did, though, so I think she's a demon.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that was interesting. I had a
So
theory.
perhaps there are evil demons that don't like when demons are good.
The implication I took, they didn't say this, so it's just me reading. I get the feeling she was behind the monsoon and did not like being thwarted.
Oh.
I thought maybe she was trying to absorb him.
I could see that too.
Very, very possible. Yeah, this episode was a roller coaster. Many lessons were learned. Cletus, as our guest, you're first up. What are your thoughts on this episode of Rooster Fighter?
Well, you put it about as good as I could have. It definitely was a roller coaster of highs and lows, and I'm guessing you're right. That is a female demon we saw at the end that killed Morio, I believe. And I'm guessing that's the big bad for the series, maybe, possibly.
She does show up in the opening.
Yeah,
She's
she
not the
did
big
make-
bad, she's like a high lieutenant.
Well, fair enough. So I'm guessing we'll see more of her. I did not expect that at the end at all, especially after they teed him up of, oh, look, he survived. Well, yeah, for, 15 more seconds.
Yeah, that was rude.
Oh, boy. That
Don't
cut
do
a
that
guy's
to
legs
us.
out. Yeah, that cut a guy's legs out from under him real fast. But otherwise, I mean, it was a good mix of action and comedy. And giving Morio between this last episode and this episode, it's giving more development to the story itself, because it would be so easy and, I don't want to say lazy, but predictable to say, oh, all demons are bad. It would be so easy from a storytelling standpoint to make that so one-dimensional, and then you bring one in that is the exception to the rule. So,
This isn't free Rin.
Yeah,
I was thinking it, Laser.
you beat me by 2 seconds.
Yeah, Elizabeth even has that moment where it's like, well, I heard online that some demons weren't evil, but now that I've seen it for myself, I really gotta rethink things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having
And,
her Aaron Yeager moment of, I want to kill all the Titans. Oh, now wait a minute.
Maybe
Yes.
not all the Titans, just the bad one.
Yeah, exactly. And if this female demon at the end isn't the big bad, then some small part of me does want the Japanese iteration of Colonel Sanders to be the big bad at the end of this series.
That is amazing.
You've made it this far, KG, but now I'm gonna fry your ass.
In the words of Project Echo, it's the Colonel. Man, I'm going all kinds of outside anime today.
I need this. I need this to happen.
I kind of need it too.
It'd be worth it.
It
So
would be amazing. That's a good thought.
that's about all I got. I'll end it on a high note with that.
Steven, what are your thoughts on this episode of Rooster Fighter?
We need Foghorn Leghorn in here.
I
I'll say boy.
said, boy, that their demon is not a bad guy. I say.
I feel like he would not be useful or helpful in any way, shape, or form.
No.
That's
No,
like
you're
not
not.
his jam.
Nope.
He's
But
there
he'd
to
be funny.
hinder and be annoying. That's his primary role.
He's there as a shrewd business guy, just trying to sell KG into like some type of KFC type business where he just doesn't know
Gosh.
that he's going to get cooked at the end.
And then you got to have the chicken hawk too. Then.
Yeah.
Fioco's the chicken hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a fun episode. This one was a lot more touching, kind of like internal struggle ish, if you can call a anime about chickens internal struggles. But I mean, it was fun. I liked it. seeing the demon kind of like because we seen was kind of like evil demons apart from like the first or second episode. So this was seeing another one kind of like just becoming, trying to figure out who they are and everything, and then at the end get off by another demon. So I mean, whatever her finger power is, I don't want to go near that.
That's
But
not the shining finger.
no. But
But
yeah,
it is
it
the
was
finger bang.
yeah. Yeah. Aside from that, I mean, see KG with all those powers, like the guy's moving at like almost superhuman speed. He's the Flash, just chicken Flash. Yeah, he's crazy, man. That his lung power has to be insane to just scream for that long, to cut down a boulder, to survive underwater by just screaming with all that torrential like water going around him and everything, to create like a bubble atmosphere to rise out of it. His lung power, man, must be pretty good. But I mean, he's stacked. The guy's like almost genetically modified. He's a GMO chicken.
Genetically modified chicken.
Yeah, he's a GMO chicken. Fresh,
GMO
never
rooster.
frozen. Yeah, but it was a pretty good episode. I like the kind of like the two-parter ish of this episode, seeing where he went and then coming back to it. He's like, oh, now I have to save these people again. And he's like, he's like wrestling with that stuff as he wants it. He's on his own path, but then he has to keep saving these people, and he wants them just to, do it for themselves.
I love how he's called to account for that. It's like, I thought you only cared about saving your sister.
Yeah, but apparently he doesn't. Interesting, the demon lady at the end. There's, I think, 4 in the opening. She's one of them. So if she is a demon, or if she is just like a human kind of like hybrid demon, like, I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting to see where this show's going. It doesn't really matter because it's stupid, but so fun to watch a anime about chickens and how they're saving people. Gives a new appreciation to chickens.
Kuro, what are your thoughts on this episode of Rooster Fighter?
I actually have to admit that the more I watch, the more surprised I am by the amount of depth and plot the effort they're putting into. Because this is, I did not expect it, and I like that I don't know what's going to happen. It's not predictable. I mean, there are small moments, like it was predictable that KG would show up and that KG would save the day, kind of thing. But like in terms of knowing that the episode was going to play out this way at all was not something that I saw coming. So I like that the story is unique and interesting, and it's a nice blend of like humor, but they also are throwing in there some pathos and some more interesting character development. So yeah, I appreciate that. I think I think that I am a lot more invested now than I was when I started watching the first episode. So I appreciate that they're doing more than Monster of the Week. They're adding some plot, some characterization, stuff like that. So yeah. It was a good episode. It sucks for Morio though. I'm pretty upset about that. Like I felt like we talked about that. We're like, oh, is he going to be a series regular? I really wanted to see him kind of be part of the crew in some way, and I feel like I was robbed of that. So I'm a little resentful. There better be some great revenge quest for our departed Morio, because I'm not happy about it. Bring back more.
I mean, they're not going to know that he was
I know, that's the worst part.
That she killed him, unless she's the kind of be like, ha ha, I killed your friend.
I'm sure at some point it'll come up.
Unless he somehow survived it.
He might. He's a survivor.
He is a survivor.
Yeah.
And we can hope. I'm gonna hope, even though I don't expect it.
Any additional thoughts, Laser?
Fun episode. Nice to see the characters kind of come into all their squabbles have kind of been put to the side here. They all kind of had to come together to save the day here. I don't think we're going to see them come apart again.
Probably not, especially because Elizabeth seems to be finally understanding her feelings.
That was also really funny.
And Pyoko ribbing her.
My husband!
What? Isn't it appropriate for me to be kissing my husband? Is your husband? Now, I think only you think that, Pyoko. Was like, oh yeah? Why are you blushing?
That's true. She is the only one who thinks that.
It is true that she is the only one that thinks that.
She is, thankfully, she is the only one who thinks that. But she's also got Elizabeth dead to rights. It's like, why is she so perceptive? Oh, it's a fun dynamic. But one of these days, Keiji's really gonna have to like clear the air here.
He's like, this is why I didn't want to travel with other people.
Yeah.
I got all this mess.
Yeah. But, in that moment he thinks, oh man, I don't want to just leave them, so I guess I have to save the town. So clearly he had no intention of leaving them behind.
He cares.
Yeah, Elizabeth said it right out. Regardless of what you say, you do care.
True.
So I was just in the neighborhood. Waiting for a bus.
Yeah,
I just love that he was just waiting at a bus stop. What are you doing? Are you gonna ride a bus? I mean, you could ride on top of a bus, I guess. Might as well save that running for when you need it. Yeah. Khaki Blue Socks in the chat has brought up his appreciation of chickens and wanted to bring up the One Piece Popeyes collab. To which I say, it's cool that that's happening, but it's so underwhelming. It's look, they got like a special cupcake that's chopper themed, and they have a gum fruit lemonade. Excuse me, gum fruit is canonically disgusting. So
yeah, I don't want to eat that.
Why? And then they have just the basic chicken with it and whatever side. You couldn't like make a big thing of chicken, like anime appropriate chicken. Big piece of chicken. Come on.
Luffy portions,
also,
everyone.
They had these bento boxes, and only like 6 restaurants in the entire USA got the plastic ones. And now they're going for crazy amounts of money on the secondary market because, of course, they are. And apparently, some places didn't even get like the cardboard boxes with Luffy on them. So even though I drive through town and I see the Popeyes that has the sign that shows Luffy on it, I'm like, yeah, but do you even have the boxes? I haven't checked, but by now I doubt they do. So it's cool. I'm thrilled that's happened. Like that really shows how big One Piece is. Also, Toonami gave One Piece a shout out, mentioning that it's 1,100 episodes and counting. That's
almost caught up. I'm almost to 1,000 on my personal watching.
Yeah, it is ultimately very surprising that Popeyes would do a collab for One Piece. Wouldn't necessarily have expected that. It's not like Arby's that had their social media doing anime stuff for years.
Certainly wasn't on my expectation list, but happy to see it.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. I just wish they had put more effort into it. It's kind of disappointing. But maybe they'll do one again. Maybe they'll do it better. And heaven help you if you wanted one of those bento boxes. yeah, Jafis. I understand Popeyes is a Louisiana brand, and they aren't exactly known for doing anime stuff. So that's something. That's something. Shows how far and wide One Piece has grown in popularity. It's lovely to see.
Through my mind, when
For
they
those
had
of
their,
us that suffered the 4Kids era.
Yeah, it blew my mind
Never
when they were
would have
doing,
dreamed we'd be at this point.
doing those baseball collabs with like the Red Sox and stuff.
Yeah, all those there's baseball, basketball, football. Like there's so many sports collabs for One Piece and some other anime. Not to not to undercut that.
No,
Like,
but I've seen more
there's a
One Piece
lot.
than I would have expected, and I'm right there with you. Surviving the 4Kids era, it's like, wait, this is popular now.
How much money did Popeyes throw at Toei and One Piece and Oda to get that collaboration? Because I mean, them throwing that much money, is Popeyes like really big in Japan? Because all I see is like KFC. KFC would have been like a natural choice.
Well,
to do
this
that
is
over
in the
there.
US, not in Japan.
Yeah. So, like, how much money did Popeyes throw at them to like do that? Because I mean, MLB, NBA, all that stuff, I get that. Maybe there's like a NFL coming down the line or something like that. But Universal Studios is having their collab, I think, with the Fan Fest this summer with One Piece and Sailor Moon.
They actually put some effort into the menu.
Yeah, and usually that stuff is basically what they have at USJ over there in Japan. But I mean, like, how much, like, Popeyes must have thought to themselves, we need to get on the train of something. And they're like, what can we do? And some guy goes, well, my kid's been watching this pirate show on Netflix. Can we do something with them? And they're like, I don't know. What, maybe? And they're thinking about it. No, Netflix is too much. Was there original show? And the one guy goes, yeah, I used to watch it on like Toonami or something back in the day. He goes, can we go there and get that? And maybe that's how it was born. I don't know. But I mean, how much money they must have threw so much money at that at Toei. And Toei's like, hey, we'll take the check. We'll cash it. Anything cashes for us.
Toei is always happy to take someone's money.
It's a weirdly specific and detailed script there you have, Steven.
Yeah, I know.
Thought a little hard about this.
I thought long and hard about all of this stuff.
Long and hard about this thing he literally just heard about.
Yeah. No, I definitely read that as Popeyes jumping on a bandwagon, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I mean, that's cool. I mean, One Piece has really taken off specifically because of the Netflix show. And that's why we have Legos. That's why we're getting so many sports collaborations. And don't get me wrong, it was already growing in popularity, but that Netflix show just kicked it up several notches. And now people are watching the anime because it's quote unquote approaching the end, and they don't want to miss the moment One Piece ends. And I can't blame them.
I can't blame them either.
Now, if Popeyes go with like a Blue Lock thing, if Popeye goes with Blue Lock, now they're like true anime fans. But right now, it's like, they're jumping on the bandwagon.
No, when Popeyes does a Rooster Fighter collab.
There you go.
That fits.
The way to go. That's the way to go because there would be a good tongue-in-cheek moment for that.
KFC and the chicken wars.
There was fried chicken. Yeah, KFC should answer. They should do the Rooster Fighter collab. There was fried chicken that looked very KFC in the first episode of Rooster Fighter. So, almost can't believe that collab isn't happening yet. It probably will happen in Japan. That seems inevitable.
A little twisted, though. Like it'd be funny to think about, but also weird.
Totally.
Looking at KG on the box next to Colonel Sanders and thinking, this chicken is pretty good.
Making me
And then just
uncomfortable just thinking
yeah.
about it. It's weird.
Well, we all know KG's reaction to seeing fried chicken and being offered fried chicken. KG ain't no cannibal.
Oh my god!
And
That
I'm
that
telling
is
you,
not that is
KG
exclusive to him because I'm telling you, his brethren would have no problem tearing apart that fried chicken. No problem.
yeah,
I've heard tale.
most
We leave
animals
our
will eat their
Thanksgiving-
own kind in
Yeah,
one form or another.
when we after I carve up the Thanksgiving turkey, I take the carcass out and leave it in the chicken yard.
Well, that's turkey.
That's turkey. That's not quite the same thing.
I've done it with a chicken too.
I bet they
Oh,
pick
there
it
you go.
clean too.
Like they
Oh,
don't
yeah. Yeah.
even know.
No, they don't.
They're not thinking about it.
The fact that there's poultry eating poultry is the salient point here, though, Sketch. It's not irrelevant whether
It's a
turkey or
poultry eat
chicken.
poultry world.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting so many good lines. I'm not sure what to pick for the episode title. I think
The episode's
GMO
not over
Rooster is
yet.
still. It's GMO Rooster might be the at the head of the heap so far. But yeah, we've only talked about one show and we got two more, so let's lock in for Blue Lock
Oh boy.
episode 11, The Final Piece. So now Izuki is finally learning how to use his foresight to predict the field and get everybody to where they need to be in order to score a point. He finds a spot left of Shiguri and Kunigami in front of the net, correctly anticipating that Team V would send their defenders to mark them. But wouldn't you know it? Nagi. That monster Nagi right on his tail. And that is not good. He immediately starts to panic. Izuki immediately starts to panic, as he has up to this point whenever the pressure really gets on him. And then it finally clicks. The final piece. And he realizes, wait, in this moment, I should just take the shot. And he does. He takes his quote unquote direct shot, which seems to be like his special move, and scores the match winning goal. So there you have it. They won. We knew they were going to win, but I'm sure we were all guessing how they're going to pull this off. And yeah, Kuon seems to be pretty happy that they actually won. And he's kind of sitting in the corner as they're all celebrating because he's not really sure if they'll accept him quite yet. But Kunigami comes over and tries to extend the olive branch. And Raichi speaks up. Is like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't just do that this soon. But he extends a hand. And Kuon's like, wow, he's accepting me. And then, BAM! A
Nice,
totally deserved punch. He's like, all right. You did good, but I'm still mad at you.
Hey,
But
he got his payback. That kind of helps for the amnesty a little bit.
I think
Yeah.
like in guy language, that is like puts them more at even space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they-
Yeah.
he's paid for his transgression in getting
Yeah.
it back,
And
and now we can talk.
in do language, yeah, him getting a little bit of an ass whooping is now it's all good. Ish.
mhm. Yeah. He says, all right. I'm still mad at you. I don't trust you, but we're even for the betrayal. All right. We're getting somewhere. And so the first selection is completed, and Team V and Team Z are advancing, of course. And only the most significantly memorable characters from the other three teams survive.
Were they memorable? Because I didn't remember any of them when they came up. Like, who are these guys again? Sorry.
Well,
I
come
just
on,
didn't-
it's one of the Psycho twins, and Barrow, those guys are definitely memorable. Nico, not so much, but he does have a moment in this episode where he and Isuke are kind of sizing each other. It was like, well, I had to improve because of you. And he's like, yes, and I had to improve because of you.
I only really
No, you.
remembered this last game. The other games are kind of blurs, except for Kuon betraying. But like, this is the only game that really stuck with me because it was the only one I wasn't bored.
Entirely fair. entirely fair. So Nico, like, I think Nico's whole thing is he's sort of he's sort of Isagi, and then his other thing is that he covers his eyes, and when you reveal his eyes, there's just they're baby puppy dog eyes. So in that extra time where they were doing impressions of other characters and somebody did Nico, I was like, who was that again? Like, oh, that, right. Yeah, he got all sad puppy dog eyes when they lost. I remember now. Yeah. So moving on. Now they have to do some extensive strength training, physical conditioning. Apparently, this is what people in the upper tiers had already been doing all this time because they weren't in the first selection. So we get a montage, and honestly, I really liked this montage.
It was a good montage.
It was good. It was fun, and Kuon's kind of back to being Team Mom, like, immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, right. They also had like a celebratory dinner where they're like, yeah, let's share the good food. Yeah, and Isagi goes off to get drinks and has a conversation with Bachira, and Bachira's like, what are you talking about, man? You're the one who scored the point. It's like, yeah, I did score the point. So they have a nice little moment. And that's when he bumps into Nico and they have their conversation about you made me better. No, you made me better. We made each other better. I'll see you next time, scrub. And they get back and everybody's conked out. That's so cute. It was, they gave their all in that game. And it was good. It was good. So yeah, they do the strength training, physical conditioning, fun little montage, and now they're gathering the remaining strikers. And this is where Ego reveals that all the buildings of Blue Lock were labeled Building 5. I kind of felt like that was the case because everybody in this group seemed like they were okay. Team Z was like not good at first, but it kind of seemed like everybody in this building, especially on the other teams, were pretty decent players. So I felt like they weren't actually necessarily the bottom of the barrel, and we just didn't know because of the mind games. But he wanted them all to experience inferiority.
So I was a little confused about this. The people who came in, they didn't recognize them. They were all in like a parallel situation, and then each of them only had 2 teams and a handful of players from the other teams that lost advance. But they were in other buildings under the same circumstance, basically. Is that how it was?
Yes.
I was a little confused about the way he explained it. I was like, wait, are these the same
So I
players
think
got
he
kicked
gave
out?
them fake rankings.
Okay,
because everybody thought that they were the lowest ranked players in the building. I mean, in the Blue Lock,
in the complex.
in the complex of Blue Lock.
They were all rated within their unit.
Yeah.
But like as if they were fake placed last.
So that really does make you wonder, like, what's the level of the other players in the other buildings? And
We got to see one example.
Yeah. and oh yeah, that guy's crazy, man.
Yeah.
He hit a ball and then
Just
immediately hit another ball to hit that one.
That's like some Robin Hood level like bow and arrow shit with precision.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's like, all right, that was a good warm up. I'm walking into the door, and everybody is like, "Oh shit."
Also, is anyone going to take bets on this test going through that door just being, okay, do you have the balls through the door, or are you still laying and lagging behind?
I don't think there's even really a test here, but
That's
in
kinda
the
what I'm
extra in the extra this time, they go through, it's like, all right, who wants to go through next? It's like, I'm gonna go through next. No, let's do rock, paper, scissors, because it's if you go in first, does it show you have more motivation? If you go in last, does it show you don't have enough
I was
drive?
wondering that before that, and then they said that, like, I was wondering because of the mind game with the, well, you're all building 5. It's like, okay, Ego's playing games here. What's going on with this door? Are we, what are we doing in this single testing here? Just thoughts for this new trailer. Well, this will be outdated within a week, but,
Yeah. Ego did explain the first selection was about understanding what being a striker was all about, and the second selection will be a series of individual challenges in 5 stages, which only teams of 5 strikers will make it through to the end. And they get to play with the best players handpicked from people around the world. I wonder if that red-haired guy that was interested in the program will show up at that point. I guess we'll see. Oh, that guy escapes me, but he seems to have the same family name as the guy who just showed off in front of everybody. Not sure if that has anything.
Nice catch.
Well, they were all pointing it out. They're like, "Whoa, is it? Wait, but that's not that guy."
I did not notice that part. At that point, I was like, "Oh, they're not playing soccer anymore."
They're not playing soccer anymore.
They're
Brain
not
off.
doing anything interesting.
What are you talking about? The
talking.
montage was the most entertaining thing in this entire episode to me.
I disagree. I think Raichi was still the most entertaining.
All right, fair. Raichi
was very entertaining. I actually also like the montage though, because it was really nice to finally see them actually doing some individual work that actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's soccer Bakugo, and I'm here for it.
I haven't yet seen him scream at the ball that it needs to die, though.
That would be funny.
That would be good, yeah. That would be good. So, of course, Isagi is the first member of Team Z that walks through the door. And they also have a moment like, wait, we're not going to be teammates anymore? It's like, yeah. So, if you were relying on your teammates to get you this far, well, better step up. I guess that answers the question of what they're going to do with the leftovers from the others. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be added to teams. So actually, if Kuon was the only one, if Kuon was the only one to make it through, like he was hoping, I guess it would have worked out okay for him.
Maybe.
At least until they potentially had to form teams again.
I mean, Ego was not a fan of Kuhiz, and he clearly didn't think he could make it, so who knows?
They're forgiving him a little too easily. They're also forgiving a certain traitor on Tokyo Revengers a little too easily, but we're not talking about that this week.
Yeah, that one annoys me here.
Oh, I have big problems with that one. Yeah.
I do too. With this one, he made his own act of penance, and he got, a receipt. I don't know what else you could do for this guy. In terms of for what he did, for what he has done in recompense, I think it's.
He also got slammed pretty harshly by Ego, which.
Yeah.
That was
so.
Deserved.
There is a point at which you served your time.
Still seems a little too soon for forgiveness, but all right, I'll allow it.
I would forgive. I wouldn't forget yet, but I'd forgive. I'd be watching him with a little closely, but I'd be willing to work with
him. I guess it doesn't matter because they're not going to be teammates. Or maybe Ego's lying about that. Who knows?
Or maybe we have a new team.
I do wonder if
I
they'll
was
form
thinking
new
that
teams.
too.
We
At
scramble
some
together
point.
new teams with all the people who made it, which makes sense to me.
There will definitely be a point when Isiki and Nagi are on the same team.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear that.
I mean, that's just my speculation,
Fair.
but I feel like
They
feel like
do
that's
feel
gonna
like they
happen.
belong together. I agree. It's a Goku Vegeta moment.
Perhaps. Yeah, Nagi is real scary when he kicks into gear.
Oh shit! I love how he's like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get 2 scores. Beep. Oh, I guess not.
Yeah, that was great. He's like, "There's still time, Rio." No, there isn't.
There really isn't. But
There were seconds.
But I appreciate the enthusiasm.
You're not going to be able to score 2 points in one play. This ain't football.
Watch me try.
This ain't American football.
Even in American football, there's still only so much you can do.
Yeah, it would still be very hard, but you can do a play to score 2 points.
Wow. You could try to get a touchdown and then a field goal extra point, but yeah.
No, you can do. There's a way you can score 2 points if you get down.
Get a
Push
safety.
them in. Yeah, safety. You push them into their own end zone.
Yeah.
And you can push them in to make a safety.
That's
I
true.
saw that twice last season, the last football season. It was pretty great. Once was against.
I was thinking of like, okay, you can get your 6 points and then the 7th on a field goal post touchdown. That's what I was thinking of.
No. You can do 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, a touchdown's worth
You
more
got
than
your
1 point.
Yeah, touchdown's worth more, and the regular field goal is too.
Oh, you got your
What you're
safety
thinking
and
of
your
is the
conversion, so
2-point conversion. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of. So you get 8 on a touchdown instead of 7.
Oh yeah, you can do that, but that's really hard.
That's what the 2-point conversion is.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. Now I know what you're talking about. I'm smart, you guys. And that's the sport
You
I
need to
actually
watch
do know
some
something
football,
about.
is what I think.
Football's the one I actually have any chance of actually being able to understand. Anything else, I
back to
just like,
soccer.
that's
Back
a
to-
ball.
Back
that
to
does
football.
things. Football. We talked about football for a second. Now we're back to football.
You know, Steven, through this entire stream, you've been labeling Cletus as cult.
Oh no!
nice.
Well, you know,
You're Colt Junior now.
Fair enough.
It's all good.
sorry about that.
I just noticed, so I mean, I was like, oh, I should probably say something. So, Cletus, not Colt. What are your thoughts on Blue Lock?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a big sports fan, so I'm happy to see any sports anime come around that would be worthwhile. Still waiting on season 2 of Megalobox, but hey, whatever. Yeah,
Be a long
I'll
wait.
be wait. Yeah, that'd be wait about as long as Mob Psycho 100 probably for that. But anyhow,
We're never getting that.
no, no. So, I'd heard the name of this show. That's all I knew about, other than it being about soccer. And full disclosure, as you may have guessed, I'm not the biggest soccer guy in the world, but I'm aware of it. I'm familiar with it, and so being that as it was, I asked 3 different people who I knew had seen it. Like, what do you guys think of this? And in true, perfect, unhelpful luck fashion, I got 3 very divergent answers. The first one was, I know you like sports and everything, but this is an absolute slog and you are going to hate it. I thought, well,
That's definitely
Yeah.
how I felt for most of this so far.
and yeah, and after the first 2 episodes, the show really didn't have a pulse for a while, and I thought, oh boy. And then the second guy had said, well, it starts slow, but eventually it does pick up. And if you like sports anyways, you should be able to, gain interest in it and find some enjoyment as it picks up steam and goes down the line. So I'm hopeful that is more accurate, obviously. But then the third one came completely out of left field and said, well, this is kind of a deconstruction of sorts. If you remember all the other sports anime, you take something like Hajime no Ippo, Megalobox, slam dunk. You're all building towards something, whereas these guys almost mentally have to break themselves back down to be built back up into whatever image their trainer, or in this case, coach, whatever ego is, wants them to be. So I thought, well, okay, maybe 2 and 3 got that, split the difference. But I am curious after seeing the last 2-3 episodes to see where it's going now, because the show does have a pulse. So I am hopeful for that at least.
Yeah, it does have a pulse. So Mr. AJ Tibbs in the chat brought up some worthwhile factoids. At the start, there were 300 total players, 5 buildings, 60 players per building. Those 60 split into 5 groups of 12. Episode 1 eliminated 1 player per group, so minus 25 after the first selection. 2 groups of 11 plus 3 extra moved on, so minus 150, leaving 125 players. No player was ranked 1 to 240, but they will soon get their true ranking. Hope that helps if anyone cares.
Yes, this is the breakdown I needed.
Thank you.
that
I was
does help.
trying to, I appreciate that greatly. I like seeing it written out for my benefit, because I felt like in the episode I kind of grasped what Ego was trying to say, but I needed to see that physically. I needed to read it, and now it makes sense to me. Thank you.
Much appreciated, Mr. AJ Tibb.
Yeah.
Kuro, what are your thoughts on this episode of Blue Lock?
Bachira and Raichi give me life. I love
Mm.
them. Like, if I could just see them being quirky and in the game, but like it's when they're like playing actively and doing their thing that it's the most interesting. Like the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the episode, when you see they're passing the ball back and forth and Isagi's like, trying to move everybody into place and everybody's reacting in their abilities, and you see like Bachira dribbling and he's like, his eyes are doing that crazy on fire look, and then Raichi keeps the ball from going out of bounds. Like, that's fun. That was fun to me. I liked how fast it was moving. It wasn't overly analytical. It was like in action. I I would prefer that than to some of the more slower moments that were like the first 8 episodes. And then of course you get that character quirk, which is what makes it fun. You can like a character for being odd or funny or quirky or very angry. So yeah, I like that. And then afterwards I was like, wait, now it's over. Now what? How are they going to keep me engaged? I have no idea. I guess I'll just have to wait and see. But that game with this team specifically was the most entertaining of the series thus far. And
Agreed.
yeah. And I was able to like the fact that like I complained so much about this and how much I dislike soccer in general, or just not dislike, but I just don't really find it entertaining to watch. And I was able to get past that for this last part. I'm like, okay, I guess I can kind of see what people like. But I don't know what's gonna happen next. But it's funny because like this is Isagi's show, but like he's only kind of one part of the formula. I don't feel like I'm rooting for him individually. I kind of feel like I just want to see each of these players advance,
I
on
think
this
I like
team.
him the least out of the team, to be honest. He's
I want to
kind of a
see I
jerk.
want to see more of like the other team players too. Like they seem to have now developed a kind of camaraderie and a kind of dynamic, and I hope they're not going to get split up right away, but I'm assuming at least some of them will advance together. Like I'll be mad if Bachira doesn't advance with Isagi like up until close to the end, because he's a lot of fun and they seem to be friends too. So yeah, I this was the solid beginning of the episode. I guess the rest was fine. I was torn between confused and then not caring at that point. I was like, wait, just show them on the field again. But there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't break up the dynamic duo. That'd be a bummer.
It would be a
They
bummer.
belong together.
But it would also be cool to see them compete against each other.
I don't want that. I guess we. I don't, because then like Isagi's like the main character. Then we'd have to watch Bachira be on like the other end of that. I don't want that. I want to root for him.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Isagi's the focus, this next chapter where they're doing individual tests is probably gonna be.
Can I point out one other thing? I still think he makes a good midfielder.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
he does.
I'm still like, you can still score as a midfielder, but I feel like, and honestly, as which would anger Raichi greatly, he also makes for a good midfielder.
we got to give props to Raichi in this episode for saving the ball at that point.
Yeah.
Like that, man, that was determination.
Yeah.
Taste it. Score a damn goal. He's so funny. So angry.
Everybody else is like, what the heck? What's he doing there?
It's a good thing he's playing soccer and not football or hockey. I feel like that would just be bad. It'd be worse. He should not be in any sport that exacerbates his anger more than he already is.
Oh, so true. Laser, what are your thoughts on Blue Lock?
I like that we've established more of the head games that Ego's playing. We kind of had an idea that he was going to do that, but the fact that he straight up was like, "Yeah, you're the bottom of the barrel. You're all the bottom of the barrel." Yeah, totally. But I also loved his explanation. It made sense. You know, people who
It
use
did.
that to get out of bad situations, they have a hunger for it. I think he was trying to replicate that without necessarily inducing extreme trauma, which I appreciate out of him.
Which also means the other teams all had crappy sleeping facilities.
Everyone had crap, yes.
What a troll Ego is.
Yeah.
The reality is, as Steven surmised way back at the beginning, they just didn't put any money into the sleeping facilities. They put all the money into painting the whole freaking thing blue.
Blew his house and his blue window.
Yeah.
I already made that joke, but still.
It keeps giving.
It does.
Steven, any additional thoughts?
I mean, this was a good episode showing the teamwork of each of the actual teamwork of them fighting back. I mean, you knew they were going to win. It wouldn't be Blue Lock or, without the main character winning and that. But I mean, still, it does show like they work together as a team. They finally achieved that victory they needed to do, and they did that. And that was a cool moment to see that. Like, you can cheer for them. I mean, and say, "Hey, you guys did that, and that was good." I hear like, it's weird hearing like all the other voice actors from different shows in there, and so I'm like, why? I'm thinking to myself, why is Senku in there from Dr. Stone? I'm thinking, why is he in there? Like, is he like trying to like do all this math in his head, like trying to figure all this out? I'm like, okay.
Senku would never touch a ball unless it was something that it was being used as a tool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and then Ego is basically a Batman villain. Just, I mean,
Oh
that's
my
who he
gosh.
is. He's like the Riddler, or he's like some guy who like thinks he's a villain, and he's like, aha, I fooled you all, and they're all like, what? It's something. It's kind of weird because don't they all eat at the same facility, right? They eat in one large cafeteria. Don't they all talk? Wouldn't they all know that they're all on the same level? Or is it like you don't talk to the other team for like reasons. I mean,
Well,
there
even if
had
you
to been a
did,
point.
even if you did, are you gonna be like, yeah, we're considered lowest and low? Who's gonna admit that? No,
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
great. I'm in the greatest team. Yeah.
Mhm.
They do
But-
share a cafeteria in the building, but not in the other buildings.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so each one has its own cafeteria.
So yeah.
Okay, that works.
It makes sense. I mean, Ego's trying to develop something. He's either doing that or trying to develop Batman's worst villain ever.
Gosh.
You know, they didn't even ask if the other players in the same building had like better sleeping arrangements.
Yeah. They, like I said, they wasted all the money on the paint, because how much paint, and it had to be like the bluest of blue paint, right? They had to get like the bluest blue, and they had to like have like some science team from a college like create it all, and the waste like tons of funds and financial dollars from like the college raising all that money. And they said, okay, this is the bluest blue, and Ego being Ego himself saying, that's it, that's mine, we're gonna create it, we're never gonna share it to anyone else, so this is gonna be the bluest blue, and we're gonna paint a building the bluest blue. And everyone there was like, what? Okay, sure. Like, they went along with the plan, which is like an idiotic plan to capture every single best soccer player in the country, lock them all in a room, say that you're the lowest of the low, and think I'm going to raise the next, soccer player up. I don't know. It's smart in some points, and then it's like it's dumb at others. So who knows? But I mean, I did like it. I still like it. So it is going to be interesting where they go from here. I changed my mind on it a bit, so I'm not like too cynical on it. But there is some fun that's going to be had, I think. And then, yeah, I do like it. I would say I like the ending theme and the kind of like the ending credits, because it does kind of show like, hey, if he does go into this second part where it's all individualized, that third part is when he meets back up with his friends and they get to become a team again, which is kind of cool. I mean, other than that, I don't know why you have to be an egoist to be an ego soccer player. I mean, the only egoist that I know is the elegant egoist in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's the only thing that I keep hearing every time, because I played that card too many times when I played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Also, Ego bringing up that they look at the tragic lives of these various strikers that grew up on the streets. I was like, okay,
Oh yeah, okay, buddy.
okay. You have to be hungry for it.
Hungry for it, dude. The guy that they show was an adult looking back at his life in the slums, which is not the slums. It looks like he was just in an alleyway with a bunch of graffiti, painted on the walls, and it's like, that doesn't look like anything bad to me. That just seems like a regular Wednesday walking down to Chicago.
So before we move on to Dun, Khaki Blue Sox brought up a very, very good point, which I'm sure we were all thinking at one point. You have to ask about this and Tokyo Revengers. Where are the parents in this? No parent cares about their kid being locked up and put under these mind games. They just signed the permission slip and it said, okay, bye.
Anime logic.
With Tokyo
Yeah, we don't
Revengers,
know much about the parents at all, other than Rio's parents not really wanting him to play soccer.
I've gotten into the opinion with Tokyo Revengers, the adults in this world act at the speed of plot. With Blue Lock, parents must think that they're just off on a training camp and don't have details. Yeah, I'm going to soccer training camp. Okay.
Yeah. They're like, oh, that sounds good, honey. Tell us all about it when you get back.
That's kind of my read, yes.
They went off to camp.
What's that? If you flunk out, then you can never play for the national team? Okay, whatever.
You can walk it off.
I didn't want you to be a professional soccer player anyway. Is what I think most of the parents are thinking. If they knew.
If they knew, yeah. I suspect it's very much, oh, you're at soccer camp. Okay.
So I guess this ends the first chapter of Blue Lock, and the first season still has 13 episodes. So there's plenty more to go. And I guess we'll see where it goes.
So I guess the last 2 episodes are just kind of adjusting to whatever the new situation is of this season, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this. Well, it was a like two a 2 anime season that played straight through. So I
Mhm.
don't.
Double core.
I think this is just the. It really felt like the end of the first chapter when Isaki went through that door.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very visually and narratively clear.
I did like the puzzle pieces thing in this episode too. The way the puzzle pieces in the back of his head were like vanishing bit by bit. I was like, oh, that's a neat effect. Again, Blue Lock does some really neat stuff visually.
It does.
Oh yeah. That's it for Blue Lock for now. It's time to bring down the house.
I see what you did there.
You know, I want to say this before we get into the third episode of Dawn to Dawn. I'm not feeling this opening. Not feeling it.
I never did. I
It's
never
not
it's
did.
such a-
nearly as good as the first.
It
Well, it's a
can't help
completely
up to
different
it.
vibe. It's a completely different vibe. I mean, maybe on
Mhm.
its own that would be a good song, but to go from like this kind of like hip hop sound, which was really catchy and it like gets you in a certain mood, to this like lyrical, I don't know, emo crap. I'm just not feeling the transition. I
I
want
never did.
something like the first season OP.
I think
That
that's a
let
very
me
common
know,
feeling.
yeah, that let me know mood wise what I was getting into. Like, yeah, sure, there's definitely some more emotional moments, but that's not exactly like the whole setup of the show. There's a lot of like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Um it's unserious in a lot of ways too. So you want to see something a bit more fun,
I feel like
I
the
guess.
ending to season 2 is better fit for Dawn to Dawn than the opening is.
Yeah, the ending was fine. I didn't have strong feelings about it, but I just every time I hear this opening, I'm like, it just does not fit.
It doesn't
It's not
feel right.
not working for me. But anyway,
I totally
Yeah.
get where you're coming from. I felt that way the entire run I watched it when it was being
Mm.
simuldubbed.
nuance, yes, but that's not the word I was thinking of.
It always when the opening kicks in on this season, it always feels kind of jarring.
It does.
Yes.
It distracts from the feeling of the show. It's like, huh? Oh, it's you.
It's not hitting the vibe.
No.
So
But it is like visually, it's really nice, and I think the
Visually,
song
it's fine, yeah.
is fine. I
It
actually
is.
really like the clapping part, but yeah, it just eh.
yeah. Okay.
it
Well, at least
ain't no
I'm
creepy
not-
nuts.
Yeah, I want that. That's what we should be listening to.
There will be a great song in this season, though.
Well, I feel
Oh
like
yes, there will.
I become picky because like with OPs they're either forgettable and you're just like, okay, it's an opening and you just pay more attention to visuals or whatever, or it's like really memorable, like the first Dawn to Dawn or like Mashal, those are memorable and they set you up exactly for what you were going to expect. They're even like for Shonen, there's a couple of One Piece ones that were really great, some that I, were again forgettable. Same thing with Naruto. So I guess it's just I'm either ambivalent about it or I'm like, this is great stuff.
Oh no, I get the feeling. I mean, I just recorded an award episode for my podcast, and we talked about intros and endings, and some of them really hit, some of them are okay, some are distracting. There really is a gamut.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's really hit or miss, and the margin there is pretty narrow. So,
You think so? I kind of wonder, like,
oh, keep going. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I Wow, I said that whole backwards. Actually, I agree with you. Never mind. I said the wrong
No,
words.
I kind of see what you're coming from. Like maybe it's just tricky to hit that note right. Um, but if they did it once, they should be able to do it
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. It's just that's
Yeah.
kind of music in general, though. It's either a hit or a miss, and
Yeah.
there's just whatever in the middle there. There isn't much, I guess. But
Yeah.
don't mind me. Keep going.
Yeah. I just have higher expectations. But on to episode 3. You won't get away with this. So the Evil Eye is bouncing his soccer ball powers around like a blue lock champ and chasing after Momo and Okaroon. And I gotta say, this scene, the animation in the scene, just loved it. Put a bookmark in that. As Momo and Okaroon escape the Evil Eye, they find the death worm is spraying poison into the underground and they're still stuck in there and breathing it in. So Okaroon suggests that they defeat the death worm using sunlight, but he's going to have to get Momo out of there first. And he's like, I'll handle freeing Gigi, but I'm gonna help you escape. And so his plan is to launch her up halfway, and then she's gonna use her powers to go the rest of the way, like a double jump in Crash Bandicoot. So he kicks her, uses his leg powers to kick her up high, and then she uses the propulsion from her powers to get her just there, and then pulls up with her like arm, her grabby psychic power all the way. And just in time, because immediately after that, Evil Eye Gigi finds him. Back on the surface, Momo attempts to try to build a rope by tying a bunch of sheets together, but it's much too short. And as she's sitting there thinking, because she's a clever cookie, she recalls something that happened, a memory from childhood, and formulates a new plan, which involves setting Gigi's house on fire. It's like, where are you going with that firehouse thing? And then begins yelling for help for someone to put out the fire. Okaroon and Evil Eye are playing a very epic game of supernatural dodgeball. And Evil Eye is pretty frustrated by how nimble Okaroon's movements are and how he's able to effectively evade his attacks. So he traps him into a confined space made up of his powers. And at that point, Evil Eye just steps in there and begins brutally beating him. That in the midst of this beating, he threatens to kill Momo and torture her. And at that point, Okaroon becomes enraged and grabs him, and he tells him, you made 2 mistakes. First, you hit Momo, and second, you took over my friend Gigi. And basically he goes all out with the repeated set of punches. I liked the counting. I don't know, anyone who has a little bit of OCD, I do that a lot too, but it's funny. He's like counting his punches, and then he goes up to 20 and repeats it. I love that. All of that was great. It was all just great. Okaroon then returns to his normal form. He has lost the rest of his mojo, and he attempts to drag our transformed Gigi out of harm's way. He's gonna pull him up. He's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but we'll get closer to the surface for Momo. When he hears Turbo Granny screaming, he descends back into the cavern without Gigi and attempts to rescue Turbo Granny, who is stuck in some slime. And he has a pretty solid idea, putting down some planks to try and pull her. Unfortunately, physics worked against him, and he ended up trapped in the goop as well. Meanwhile, up on land, firefighters have come in to put the fire out, and I don't know why she admitted this, but Momo admits that she's the one that set the house on fire. Girl, come on. I was just praising you for being clever, and you do that. You could have just said that the owners did it. Anywho, they experience some intense tremors, and Deathworm, who appears to have become disturbed by the water saturating the house, is forced above ground, where it dies after some wriggling about, after is exposed to the sunlight, and then hilariously pukes out the cutos. who are inexplicably still alive.
Yeah.
Naki then reprimands Momo's foolishness for killing the death worm, and Momo is about to leave to retrieve. She doesn't give a shit. She's about to leave to go retrieve Okarun and Gigi when suddenly the volcano begins to erupt and rocks the entire resort town. I would imagine that it was less about the curse and more about all of the earthquakes happening from the giant worm you had living underground. But hey, if you want to be ignorant, that's on you, Naki. So yeah, this episode, I want one of my favorite things about this episode was how beautifully animated these action sequences are. They do a lot of fun stuff with the camera sequence, like if you think about, it looked like it could be panning and following them, when of course this is just really elegant animation. The movement's so fluid, it's showing a lot of angles. Everything is fast paced, but I rewatched both of these episodes and I was just very impressed with the animation. So yeah. Sketch, let's start with you. What are your thoughts about this episode?
Yeah, Momo, why would you admit to that? Like so casually, yeah, I did. It's like, okay, well then you're coming with us.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
illegal.
you're not listening to me. That's arson.
Yeah, that's illegal, Momo.
That's illegal. I love Okarun being like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna push you with my legs, and then you're gonna use your ghost hands like a 2-tier rocket. It's just like, what? No, I'm not ready. What? No.
He goes.
And
goes
she gets
anyway.
almost all the way up. She's like, oh no, I'm not gonna reach. It's like, well, use your ghost hands, girl. Come on. Eventually she gets it. That's she gets it. That was such a cool fight between
Yes.
Okarun and the Evil Eye. That was sick. And yes,
Yes.
the Evil Eye would win Blue Lock.
Yeah.
Like crazy
You don't
ball
even need
control.
a look. You don't even need a look or have this striker contest. Just stick him in the game.
Yeah,
By
just stick him in
himself.
the game.
By himself.
The cursed house is super creepy because it's made from the bad vibes of the people that have died over the years, is my interpretation. Like, ugh. That's why you see the image of all those people for a moment, I think. But the counting thing is like, that's an interesting way to do 100 punches. Just count 1 through 20 5 times. But that was 100 punches. And at first, Evil Eye's like, ha 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 ha, that's not enough. He's like, wait, no, wait, no, not more. Nope, stop it. And I love that Ken's whole deal with being mad at Evil Eye is like, you hurt Momo. That's the first strike. The second strike is you took over my friend. Like, yes!
Oh, I love that
Broship.
so much.
Broship. I love it. I love to see it. So good. So good. And wow, what a beatdown. And then the whole thing with Granny and Okarun trying to save Granny's like, come on, hurry up already. He's like, well, you gotta be careful. I'm gonna fall. He's like, no, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. It's like, haha, I got you. Oh. Hilarious. But also could have ended in tragedy. In fact, at this point, we don't know if it does or not.
If he'd been able to counterweight that plank, he would have been all right.
Yeah, he did not. Yep. He did not. I mean, spur of the moment, he was not thinking.
Like one more plank put down in between the two. Maybe.
Yes,
Might have been just enough for him
done it.
To regain his balance.
I guess he wasn't thinking that it would be so hard to pull her out of the gunk.
He did a Momo just smart enough to get halfway there, but couldn't make it to the finish line with being clever. Because they're teenagers, so
they're teenagers. They don't think things entirely through. And we see that even with the Evil Eye taking over Gigi's body, the poison that the worm emitted is affecting the host. I just found that to be an interesting detail.
Mm-hmm.
I actually forgot about the poison, and when Momo brought it, I was like, poison? What poison? Like, oh, right. That stupid worm emitted poison, which is also making this a dire situation.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Great.
cheating.
Great. So, in the theatrical release of this part of the season, this is where it ends. And I was like, what a place to end at!
Oh,
Man,
not-
if
not a
only
good
they had
ending
played
point.
episode 4. But they basically did the same thing with season 1, to be honest. Really getting the hooks in, making you really want to see what
Yeah.
happens next. And then you had to wait like a whole month, more than a month. You had to wait like 2 months before you could get the next. That was kind of. But now we're experiencing it week to week on Toonami, which is great.
Yes, it is great. This is a great series.
guess
I
there's
love
a-
how that's turned around for you.
Oh,
So no-
I mean, I know I always liked it. I think it was just that the story with the dancer, it just didn't strike the same chord with me, I think, as everybody else.
I could see
But
that.
I do like the series, and I liked this part of the arc a lot. There was a lot happening, and it was very fun. And I think also the action sequence was just so well done, so interesting.
Oh, it's
and this
very
isn't
good
even
at
enough.
that, yeah.
The next episode also has some, but I don't want to. Before I get into that, Cletus, thoughts about this episode?
Well, I'll piggyback off of you and Sketch both. You're right. The animation was amazing. Science Saru has cut their teeth on several projects the last few years that have really made them rise to the top of names of top tier studios that do work on this stuff. Whether that's the animation, the viewing angle, art direction itself. When you
It's a very
now with
polished product overall.
Oh yeah,
It was
absolutely.
all well put together.
Oh yeah, there was tender love and care done with this. There was several people with a very sharp eye for detail.
Yes,
And
we noticed.
oh
We salute
yes,
you.
Absolutely.
it is excellent quality craftsmanship.
Mhm.
And to piggyback then off of Sketch, when he talks about that fight when it begins between Okaroon and the Evil Eye starts whipping his ass right away
Yeah.
and traps him in that little cube house, whatever it was. I don't
Yeah.
exactly know what it was, but anyways, he was getting to the point where he started doing some serious ground and pound on him, and then he opened his mouth, and that's what turned that whole thing because
He opened his mouth.
well, do you remember the line he used where
Yeah, he did. He
I'm gonna
said, "Torture
torment
Momo."
Momo in her soft young flesh, and that flipped a switch right there.
I'm just laughing because it reminded me of something. This episode of Law and Order where the guy cops are saying what went wrong, and the girl cop says, "No, his problem was he talks too much."
Oh my
that
God,
was
I know what you're
that's what
talking
I
about.
made. That's
I know
what I
exactly
made
what you're
this
talking
thinking.
about.
Yeah, I think it's a criminal intent episode.
Mhm. Yeah, and when it switches, he just goes to town on him, and
Mhm.
so uh, rest of the episode went really good. It is funny to notice how even the Evil Eye, as a yokai, he's inhabiting a human vessel, and he even makes the comment, "Yeah, we can't breathe this poison any longer, or I'm stuck down here." So it is
Maybe
interesting.
be a help and not a hindrance, asshole.
Yeah, well,
There's a thought.
you're asking way too much out of an antagonist here. I mean, seriously, that we're gonna use a whole roll of anime logic stickers on that one.
Yeah.
But so I have to stop at the hardware store and pick up more of them here pretty quick. But anyways, no, so it was a very well done episode, perfectly led into the next one. That's all I got. So there you go.
Yeah, that was good. Laser, you're up.
I don't know what to say because I've talked this thing to death, but
I know. I feel
fantastic episode. Really enjoyed seeing Okaroon be like, nope, you're not gonna take my Momo. Nuh-uh, none of that. but also you ain't gonna take my bro either. He's
That's
really
cute.
growing into his own here.
Yeah. He's
Yes,
very
he is.
confident with switching in and out with the now too. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see his character growth.
Hmm.
I love. It's as frustrating as it was. I love it. I was like, yeah, I set the house on fire. She's too honest for her own good. That says so much about her if you think about it. This is not a
Yeah.
duplicitous person. She just
No,
couldn't
of
do
course
it.
not. But come on. Did she really
mean-
think she was gonna make headway with there's a giant
Of
worm
course, it's not the
underground?
smartest choice. It's not the smartest choice, but it says a lot about her in a good way.
She's got integrity, yes.
Yeah, she didn't. It didn't even occur to her to lie about it.
No.
So I like that, and I like that the universe didn't go, "Oh, that's okay." It got said, no, that's arson. What you doing?" Also, Keto family alive. Keto family. Why is the Keto family alive?
That just seems unfair. Like, I know why they need to be alive for the plot's sake, but I was just
All I
kind
can
of
say
really
is
hoping
I-
they were being
I wasn't
slowly
here when-
digested.
I wasn't here when they got eaten in terms of our commentary, but my reaction was very much and nothing of value was lost.
Yeah.
And now value has been lost because they're back.
And
Mine
when
was
they
like,
show
oh,
up, I'm
well,
like,
anyway.
oh, great. These guys survived.
Yeah.
And they immediately start being like, oh, you messed up big time, little girl.
Yeah, you caused this. You don't understand the ways of the world thing. I was like, oh god, you.
You just got eaten by a worm. I will take no advice from you.
The worm you were worshiping, you dumb shits. Come on.
Something, flat Earth, something.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, I mean, good, solid stuff. As much as I like that one, this next one's probably one that I'm gonna have a lot to say about.
Yeah. Steven, any thoughts about this episode before we move on to the next one?
I like their use of different mythological kind of cryptids. That's kind of a cool thing. Having a Mongolian death worm in there spewing poison, which technically they don't do. If they are technically real, they don't do that. They usually shock with about 20,000 to 100,000 volts of electricity. If they do that. Other than that, yeah, the animation gorgeous, like you all said. In the beginning, like you said, the OP, yeah, it's not the best, but I mean, usually an anime gets one from everything that I noticed. They usually get one hit, and then after that, they think there's something, and they'll go for this one. They go, it's going to be the next thing, and it's like, no, it's not. And you have to wonder, like, how do they think that? Like, were they like, oh, like that's the thing that I think about this quite a lot. Like, do movies think that their property is going to be the next Star Wars? And that's why they throw all the money into it to do that. And it's like, I think they think it's like that with like music or opening themes. Like, yeah, we're going to go, do
They give
it.
awards for those now. They give
Yeah.
awards for good opening sequences. Like Game of Thrones got one, and then Shogun got one.
Yeah.
Like that's now a thing. A good opening theme can actually win you an Emmy or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, yeah, it's not going to be anything from like, Creepy Nuts again, but maybe something will come in the future. I think I did see that last year when Don DeDon was on, they were doing something like, I seen some like people like posted stuff online. So I think I know what's coming next. Maybe not. Who knows in the context of anything. Other than that, yeah, the show is going well. I just want to see what happens next.
Well, speaking of what happens next, that's like way deadly.
I love these episode titles.
Episode 4. The town starts to evacuate its citizens in the face of the volcanic eruption, and Naki continues to admonish Momo, who rightfully points out the flaw in the prophecy is not making sense to being about the worm, because the worm isn't going to come towards the sunlight. It's about the geyser. So, in another moment of smart Momo-ness, she drags the death worm's carcass across town and attaches it to the geyser of the destroyed onsen and converts it into a giant hose. And all the whole time she's being chased and yelled at by Naki and the family, which is amusing and annoying at the same time. Like they need to just calm down. You were all just vomited up. Take a moment, please. But as she's being yelled at, she proceeds to use like the combination of, I guess, slime and crap that's inside the worm and whatever's coming out of that geyser to start putting out the volcano lava. Pretty clever on her part. I also feel like she's had enormous stamina because like she's like running around town using her powers at full blast. So I think she deserves a cookie for all her hard work. And as the eternally stupid Ketos attempt to stop Momo from saving them from the volcano eruption, they are rebuffed by our cool priest dude from earlier from the Tsuchinoko Shrine, who is revealed to be a disciple of Seiko named Manjiro. Typical. There was a big misunderstanding on whether or not Manjiro was supposed to help them or not because Seiko is a bad communicator. So he, however, turns out to be a pretty badass martial artist, and he handles the Ketos while Momo goes back to trying to douse the fire. Suddenly, a familiar purple orb starts blasting out of the worm, and Evil Eye Gigi is back and joins the melee and basically is fighting everyone. And yet another really great action sequence. There's some pretty Matrixy level shit going on with Manjiro in a moment. I don't know if anyone caught that. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool fight. If you did miss it, go back and rewatch it. This is a great episode to rewatch. Unfortunately, Gigi proves to be too much for them individually, so it forces Momo, Naki, and Manjiro to work together to fight him. But it's not enough, and they're about to lose when suddenly they're interrupted by Mantis Shrimp, of all people, his UFO, which is singing, and Seiko comes down floating on Taro. I'm sorry, but if you weren't laughing at the bizarre song
Oh my
coming out of
gosh.
the UFO, you don't enjoy life, because that shit was hilarious.
And the gang's all here.
I
in the most
adore this
ridiculous way
sequence.
possible.
They
Yeah,
definitely got the band back together.
Oh yeah. So Seiko like enacts some kind of prepared plan and manages, as she engages and starts fighting Evil Eye on her own, and she's doing a really good job because she's not just evading, she's also actually trying to attack him with her bat, and she's a fucking badass. Yeah. Need more Seiko scenes like that. That was awesome. And just as she sets him up to be distracted, Taro runs at full force through him, disintegrates, and then comes back together with warding talismans on his inside, sealing the evil eye inside Taro, minus a couple of his plastic organs. It was pretty cool. Back on the up in a UFO, who it turns out it was Chiquitita who was singing.
I
I
love
just
this
want-
kid.
I just want this kid to like a soundtrack all fights going forward. Okay.
Yes.
But Chiquitita picks up the volcano dowsing using the UFO power and the slime. And Momo has left, knowing that that's all taken care of, to run back to the house's ruins and Mantis Shrimp joins her. And I'm having a sympathetic asthma attack watching her run because holy crap, she's just working on adrenaline at this point. She's trying to save Okaroon, and when she gets there, unfortunately, all she finds is a pool of lava and is completely devastated, thinking that he's lost. She begs Chiquitita to help her get in there to rescue him, and instead They use the UFO's tractor beam to extract a bunch of goop. Inside the goop, we see Okaroon holding Turbo Granny, who are both safe because they were protected from the lava by the deathworm slime. Yay! And at that moment, they both, Okaroon and Momo, share a tender moment through a hug because she's
I love
very
this
relieved
sequence
that he's
so
alive.
much.
Yeah. Great episode. 2 really, really good action sequences. First of all, like the triple fight with Momonaki and Manjiro working to fight Gigi. Really great sequence. And then, of course, the entire time Seiko was fighting Gigi Evil Eye on her own. Great sequence. Like, I just felt like we got spoiled. We got 2 of these episodes where, and then 2 scenes in this episode where it was just really great action animation. Like I'm just, I couldn't get enough of it. I'm glad, like it wasn't hard for me to have to watch them both again to prep for this episode because they're good episodes. And I honestly hope that the rest of the season keeps up this level. If it does, like
I think you're in for a good
completely
time.
sold. Yeah, they've completely sold me on this. I also found it hilarious. Taro broken apart and stealing the evil eye inside him.
Best.
What this is gonna
That
mean
was
for
such
Gigi.
a good plan.
That was a great plan. Seiko is pretty smart. She thought ahead, and it's pretty funny. Poor Taro.
I love Taro's just like making random noises, charging ahead.
Yeah. Laser, what do you think about this episode?
I adore this episode. Yeah. I love the whole team coming together. It really, even someone like Taro. Also, I love Granny sitting on Taro's or coming down from the space. It's just like, okay. Or standing on him, rather. It's like, okay, that's a choice. You didn't need to do that. But it makes sense how it all plays together. These are all people who could potentially show up to help. And they do, and it works great. I love that Momo is the hero here. I love that it's not all Okaroon. I love that it's not all Momo. They both save each other. It's a thing, and it really works. I love the scene where Momo gets Okaroon out. It's just like, are you okay? And I'm glad that you're alive. An incredible, incredible scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of tenderness there.
And then
Cletus. Yes.
Singing with a UFO, the best.
Yeah. Cletus, thoughts about this episode?
Excellent, near perfection, 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that would have been missing is the ketos had to get digested. But
yeah,
hey, whatever. I can live with that. I can live with that. Near perfection is good enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. A few things here. Number one, Chiquitita. Is that how you say that name?
Yeah, Chiquitita.
Chiquitita. I misheard that as Chiquita.
That's how I heard it as well.
And I literally was like, my God, we're dragging the banana references in from season 1. Holy Jesus. But
that would have been good, though.
That would have been impressive. That's why I had to go back and re-listen to it. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that was just me. Never mind.
Well, because Momo says it's funny.
No, I misheard it the same way as you did, so that makes sense.
It's a Spanish diminutive for little one.
Gotcha. All right. And Manjiro, was I the only one getting Rock Lee vibes with him, or was that...
The eyebrows.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like,
totally.
oh, okay. Other than that, just as good as the previous episode, if anything, ups the ante anymore. And then, that final moment between Okaroon and Momo, for as much as he made it awkward, it was adorable. Perfection. So
yeah, they did smooth that awkwardness over quite well. I appreciated that.
Absolutely.
Squee.
So that's all I got.
Steven, what are your thoughts?
I'm in awe. It was a good episode to see the animation. Like they pushed, like they spent all the budget on that episode by pushing their staff so much to do something just like that. It's almost like you said, Kuro, like the Matrix style of like camera work and everything. They pushed it to the max.
The
Having
choreography of the fight.
oh
too.
yeah,
That's
that
not
had
Mhm.
new.
at times that had to been rotoscoped. Had
Mhm.
to been like that was beautiful.
They certainly would
them
have
doing
needed
that.
live action actors to demonstrate to get some
Yeah.
to what's the word, like, to sort of play it out, I would
Mhm.
imagine.
Yeah. That
To
was
pre-visualize it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was thinking.
Let's see what else. I love how the Kappas both of them come down from like a spaceship, and it just seems it's just so weird and real in this
Yeah.
world that it's like, oh, okay. And then her grandma just like riding on him, just coming down on the thing, and she's like saying, "Yeah, this thing you need a faster elevator because that thing was slow, man." Um, sh-
She was
yeah,
making an entrance.
yeah, that was an entrance, all right. Wow, yeah, that I don't know. There's almost no words for saying for doing that. Gigi is interesting because it does feel like they trap him in the shell of the anatomical body, dude, which is like the same thing they did with Turbo Granny, but just in a different vessel. And it's like, oh,
Mm.
and it's like that is an interesting move. And then they tell him again, they tell him it's up to him to do it, and he just like gets ready to sprint, and it's like it's playing the William Tell Overture, their
William
version of it.
Hell Overture.
Yeah. And it's like, okay. What else? Barbara Goodson as Turbo Granny. I just
Oh
keep
my
on
gosh.
I
She's
keep on
so good.
yeah.
Wailing.
I can't
The
unhear Rita
wailing.
Repulsa.
That was so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
It's
nailing it. She's nailing Turbo Granny.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, she is.
She didn't
Amazing.
say thank you to Okarone for saving her. Like,
Of course she didn't.
so rude. She's a mean old bitch. But she's grown
Uh,
on me.
I like Sarah pointing out the bum's Turbo Granny's always up to something. I ain't up to nothing.
Let's see what else. Yeah, that I mean, there's no notes. That episode was near perfection on what it was doing and showing like the progression of this like Mongolian death worm into a volcano. It's like the whole world in that whole area was ending, and it's like all they needed was the hose, and they still use the Mongolian death worm as a hose, as the poison to spread around. Like you're not, you're still. She connected the one end of the hose, the butt end of the hose, to the geyser, and then the other end as the mouth, and it's
Yes.
just like squirting it all over, and it's like I don't know what harm are you like doing more harm than good because now you're spraying the whole area with poison, or is it like okay now because there's water in
Yeah,
it
you're
and it
spraying that
dilutes
goop
it?
everywhere. I don't know if that
It looked
goop is good for the
nasty.
environment,
Mhm,
It looked nasty.
but at least
other
it stops the lava and the fire.
yeah,
Now choose
still.
your poison, I guess.
From butt
Yeah.
to mouth, this is just one big hose.
Oh.
Yeah, just fantastic.
Momo, stop
episode.
talking about butt to mouth.
Good God.
Yeah. All right, Sketch. Let's wrap this mother up. What are your thoughts about this episode, aside from it being awesome?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Andrew Rivera, the voice of Manjaro, because he's so good in this role, and I like how he's he's pretty defensive to the fact that he did the best that he could, and that Psycho's not very good at communicating things. Like, I think you should probably give me props for figuring it out.
He should.
She definitely should, and she
He
did.
showed up in the nick of time.
You did it. You did a good job, Gabe. He did, man. He came in clutch.
He did.
I do agree with the Rock Lee. Hey, this week on Toonami we had a aspiring ViewTuber and an aspiring boob tuber. All going for that streamer fame.
Heck yeah.
But there's more to life than that. Momo, maybe you should have waited until the the thing cooled down a little bit before you started prying it open. Just give it a sec. They're not dead yet, they're
anxious to see that they were alive.
they're gonna be okay. They were, thankfully, they were okay. They were. They also weren't very good at communicating what they were planning on the Kappa. It's like, no, I have to save. It's like, no, you don't have to do that. What do you mean I don't have to do that? It's like, just give us a second. We'll get them out of there. We'll get them out of there. It's fine. It's gonna be all right.
Communication. What's that?
Yeah, but that was intense. That was intense, and even though Nakai did help fight the evil eye there, it's not a redemption.
I don't know. Like, I feel like that she's we're not done with her yet.
Oh, we are not.
Not at all.
I had a feeling.
There are things yet to be revealed. I don't quite remember where they're revealed. Was it? I guess it's not at the end of this episode.
No.
Must be next episode.
Yeah, there are things I'm thinking.
I don't know what you're talking about, so yeah, I'm just saying.
I do.
No.
I know exactly what he's putting down, but yeah.
Yeah, so even though the central conflict is mostly over here, we still got to figure out what to do with the evil eye. Which will not be an immediate solution.
No.
Well, when they first got possessed, my assumption was after they, subdue it, he would be able to kind of merge and summon its abilities the same way Ira does with her dancer friend.
A little more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the way that Okaroon just has Granny's powers now.
Yeah, my assumption was like, that he's going to join the crew and this is his supernatural ability. He's just got to figure out how to make it work for him. But I guess we'll see.
The figuring out will take some time, but it's a good observation that this is at least the second time that they've had to deal with a yokai by sealing it, rather than because they're too powerful. You can't kill them that easily. It's much more doable to seal them and keep them from harming anyone.
Well, that came up in Blue Exorcist as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a common thread.
Mm-hmm.
Using Taro like that is so genius.
I love that.
Like, because Evil Eye is like, ha ha! I've destroyed you. I've won. Oh, but did you? And then he sees the talisman and he's like, oh no. Yeah. Put him in a shopping bag.
Gosh.
My organs. I need those.
Poor Munch. Or not Munch. Poor
Taro.
Taro. How is Taro gonna have relations with his wife?
Well, he's gonna have to abstain for a little while.
Oof, that's the
he has
roughest
no
thing of
genitals, so I don't know where you were thinking that was going to happen anyway.
That's a good
He's
point.
He's not completely anatomically correct. He's like 98% anatomically correct.
Look, Kuro, nature finds a way.
Oh my god.
I don't want to think about it too hard, actually.
He has a tongue.
Alrighty, great. And now I'm thinking about it. Thank you.
Oh boy.
He does have a tongue, right? I'm not misthinking.
I mean,
that,
he's
right?
talking.
Well, he is talking, but yeah, I guess.
He has teeth.
And you see his teeth.
I'm pretty sure he has a tongue in there. But right now, Gigi's face is under there.
I will say some some trivia about Taro in all of them. I think I said it before, but they're named after the Ultraman. So Ultraman Taro from 1973's Ultraman Taro. I think the kid was singing Ultraman's song, but the theme song of it in whatever they're doing it in his own little way. So that was a cool kind of nod to all the Ultramen and stuff with that.
Okay, cool. Interesting.
Yep, more Toku references.
Yup.
And there will be more, no doubt
Oh,
about it.
yes.
No doubt about it. We haven't even gotten to the kaijus. Well, I mean, we did sort of have a kaiju in this one. It's a great big worm. Great big worm. Yeah, really solid. I honestly really wish this was where the theatrical screening ended. It would have been way more satisfying, but what you gonna do? Fun episode. It had all the things we like about Dawn to Dawn, even just a little bit of that relationship stuff in there.
Yeah, some tenderness, and now they can hug and it's okay. They've held hands. They've advanced their relationship to not the crap you usually see in anime. They actually can touch each other and it's okay. That is significant, people. That's
It's gonna be some
significant.
hand holding next week.
Yes.
And not the creepy kind.
No,
The wholesome kind.
The wholesome kind. Very wholesome. Very awkward teenage wholesome. Such a good show. Very glad that we are being able to experience season 2 on Toonami. I guess that's all my thoughts.
Well, can't wait for next week.
Okay. You can email us at podcast@ToonamiFaithful.com. You can follow us on Facebook.com/ToonamiFaithfulPodcast and on Twitter @ToonamiPodcast. You can listen to the podcast on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, CastBox, Deezer, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify, and the TuneIn app. You can also find every episode of the podcast to stream online at the same place they found the encrypted clinical trials on Lazarus, SoundCloud.com/ToonamiFaithful Podcast. Get the latest news by following @ToonamiFaithful.com on Blue Sky and @Toonami News on Twitter. And read the news, views, and reviews on ToonamiFaithful.com. I do want to mention there was a new criminal threats promo this week, and since we just mentioned Lazarus, that was actually in there. They had footage from Lazarus in there, even though Lazarus is not currently airing, though it was going to be airing. So, yeah, that's neat. They actually snuck in a little Blue Exorcist too, and that's also not airing, but they were thinking of airing it. But they also have Ninja Kamui, which they weren't originally going to be airing. So I don't really know what's going on here, but it's nice to see all these shows represented.
It's recent
Quality
past.
One Piece clips in there. Love to see that.
Oh yeah.
Good promo. And it looks like they have a new visual transition that they did at the end there. Not sure if that'll be applied to the bumps or what, but Paul actually pointed that out in our
I did see
group
that.
DM. I was like, oh yeah, that is new. I think so.
I love it whenever they update the package. Makes it fun.
Nice to see these promos. I wonder if the AEW Adult Swim shorts will pop up on Toonami at some point. They just started doing those on Thursdays on the AEW YouTube. And I know there's various people that worked on Adult Swim shows involved with that. Mostly it just kind of looks like Rick and Morty animation. But they're shorts and they're wrestling lore, which I think there's plenty of crossover with Toonami and wrestling to make it make sense for them to play those on Adult Swim, even in Toonami. So
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they did it, but maybe they're just keeping it on YouTube for now. But they might be of our listeners' interest, so I thought I'd bring it up. The first one's out. It was about Death Proof, giving the explanation of how he became Death Proof. And even though I know nothing of this wrestler, I did watch it, and I thought it was a pretty cool short. Yeah. Okay. I think with that, we can get on out of here. So, Cletus, tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Cletus T 1986, where I might post or repost about stuff I find interesting or chuckle-worthy. There you go.
All right. Steven, tell the folks where they can find you.
Hey, you can find me on the Toonami Faithful podcast, or you can also find me managing our social media page at Toonami Faithful News. Or what? That's not it. It's Toonami News. I know what it is. Sure.
That's Toonami News on Twitter. And what's it on Blue Sky? Is it ToonamiFaithful.com on Blue Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always forget the naming conventions on Blue Sky.
It's weird. It's like Blue
It
Sky,
is its own
something.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
All want to be fancy.
Laser, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at LaserKid Prime. You can find me on Blue Sky at LaserKid. You can find me on my podcast, The Summed Sans, where we talk about summed anime. We've had Sketchon recently, and he's coming again in the near future. We just did an episode on Freerun with him, and we're about to get out an episode where we talk about the upcoming seasonal slate for spring 2026 simuldubs. Fun time.
I really love the thumbnail you made.
I'm very excited to get that out there.
Isekai season.
It's Isekai season. It's duck season. It's rabbit season. It's Isekai season.
Now I want a Looney Tunes Isekai.
I would love that, actually.
It's like a reverse Space Jam.
Huh. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it would be, because Space Jam's an Isekai. Bet you didn't want to think about that, did you?
I didn't, but now I have.
Would the Looney Tunes come to our world, or would we
Yes.
go to their world?
I think the Looney Tunes would go to like a fantasy world.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Bugs and Daffy having to deal with some random fancy world's bullshit.
But it could also be, since their world is fantasy, if they came to the real world, that would also be an Isekai. I'm giving this way too much thought. Warner Brothers, pay me. Oh, it's such a mess over there. I don't want to.
I'm just thinking of like this grimdark series fantasy world, and then Daffy and Bugs are like, "You're despicable," and have fun with it. And the villain's just like trying to be hyper evil and just getting clowned on.
Well, now I'm thinking of the Looney Tunes show short Daffy Duck the Wizard. That was honestly really metal.
Yeah, something like that.
It was cool. It was cool. Yeah. Yep. Solid night at Toonami. Next week we'll talk about this week's Tokyo Revengers and the next Tokyo Revengers. Though honestly, I kind of feel like maybe we should just talk about this week's episode of Tokyo Revengers, because
Man,
maybe
that's an episode.
Maybe an awkward like 2 episodes to talk about back to back. But oh well, we did what we did. We're sticking with it. We can't be here a full another half hour or 20 or so minutes. But yeah, interesting stuff. I'm super hooked. I can't wait to see what happens next.
I'm right there with you. I don't know if I'll be on the next one or not, depends on when we record, but oh yeah, good episode.
Mm-hmm. Very, very solid. Kuro had to step away, so you can find her on Twitter at Happy Kuro Kitty. She's the only one. And also on Blue Sky, look up Happy Kuro Kitty. And you can find me on Twitter at Sketch1984 and on Blue Sky, Sketch1984. And as previously mentioned, I'm on the most recent and upcoming episodes of Simuldub Saints, which was super fun. We recorded them back to back, which was a bit of a marathon, but
It was
it was a good time. It was a good time.
It
had
was a
by
good
all.
time.
A good long time.
It was a good long time.
So thank you for tuning into this podcast, whether you're tuning in live or you are listening to the podcast after the fact. I'm sorry, brain fart. I'm tired. It's the end of the weekend, and I'm dreading going back to work. But yes, thank you. Thank you for watching, listening, however you do. We always appreciate your listenership. Oh yeah, we're on YouTube too, aren't we?
We are.
As long as our episodes don't get flagged, and I do wonder if the previous episode did because of the Mike Tyson Mysteries clip. I had to do it.
Hey,
I
hey,
had
you
to,
had to
John.
do it. You had to.
Funny is I get hit more on Spotify than I do on YouTube.
Oh, we're on Spotify too. So
We
Yeah,
are.
they do not like it when I use ending songs.
oh yeah. I kind of
YouTube
just
doesn't
stopped
really
doing
care.
that, even though I'd really like to.
Yeah,
I
I've been leaning in the direction of stopping doing it, but I haven't yet.
Yeah. Well, whenever I'm uploading something on SoundCloud and it's like, do you have the rights to make this downloadable? I'm like, I think it's fair use.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different definition of fair use.
Yeah.
And YouTube bots are particularly troublesome, and so are Spotify bots. Anyway, again, thank you for listening. Be sure to share the podcast with your friends if you think they would be interested. And until next time, the best life advice comes from chickens.
Don't worry about that evil eye, Monjaro, because I'm coming through!